Hi everyone, and welcome to the last lesson of Activity 33, Lesson 33.3. Again, our notes today are not coming from our book, but from Google Classroom, or find a notebook to take notes in, and you will only need a pencil. So, looking here in a little warm-up section, what is the name of this three-dimensional figure that is being represented by this real-life soccer ball? Hopefully, you said it is a sphere. Okay, and spheres are a set of all points in a place that are given the distance, radius from a point, the center. So we see here we still have radius, we have center, and the intersection inside of here where when you're cutting through the center, that big cross section there, we call that the great circle. It's the biggest circle in there. Now, from this, you might be able to kind of deduce here what the type of cross sections are going to be in our sphere. You probably are thinking, well, if spheres deal with circles and radii, it's probably a circle, and you would be correct. So no matter where we're cutting this, we see that we have these cross sections occurring. And whether that's horizontal, vertical, on the side, it's always dealing with circles. Now, in particular, your biggest circle, again, is going to come when we are directly cutting through the center. You can even see that from this visual. But the cross sections always are going to be circles, okay? And again, those circles will differ in sizes. They're just similar to each other. So we would say that the cross sections are circles of varying sizes. Now, we also want to take a moment, besides talking about spheres, to just talk about solids of revolution in general. And a solid is obtained by rotating a plane figure in space around an axis, and this may not pass through another figure. So for example, we can create this cone, and again, notice this says rotating, so think circular motion, right? Circular motion on that when we rotate this figure around the x-axis, we will see this first figure being created. So watch, circle it around, again, rotate it, you see that creation of a cone, and again, when you're rotating, you're creating that circular base. So we have some more examples here about these solids that are being created when you rotate it 360 degrees around a line. So for instance, this one here, if we rotate this around, think about the solid that's being created, it's going to be a sphere, right? Because we're going again for three-dimensional shapes being created here. If we rotate this rectangle around, notice again, think circular motion. So all the way around, when we rotate this around, this now looks like a cylinder. And finally, again, circular motion. Anytime we're rotating, you're thinking circular. What's happening here is we are creating what is called a frustrum. Particularly, there are two of them. So we would say there are two frustrums. And you're probably like, what the heck is that? Well, a frustrum is a portion of a cone or a pyramid, but we kind of cut off the top. So I don't know if I have any soccer players out there, but if you think about a soccer cone, that's actually kind of a frustrum because we're just cutting off the top of that. So in this case, we're cutting off the top of our cone to create that figure. So if we go back to the notes, we have two frustrums. And again, that's just cones without tops. All right, now to close out today, notice these figures here. You can really create your own solids of rotation if you take a straw and make these rotations around and kind of see in full effect the shapes that you're creating when you tape this two-dimensional object on and rotate it around to become a three-dimensional object. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. More of these in class.